There are two types of people. Those that know that there is a monster living inside of them, and those that are in denial. You see, self-love is a term that we hear so often in the self-development, spirituality community. This concept of self-love, of loving ourselves. As you go through this journey of self-development, you will begin to realize that self-love, the concept of self-love, goes so much deeper than you ever thought possible. You see, loving yourself it's more than just loving the rainbows and butterflies. It's more than just loving the light. Because that's easy. You know, it's easy to love all the good stuff. It's easy to love all the stuff that you like about yourself. But true self-love includes not just loving the light, but also loving the darkness. The darkness. What about all the parts of yourself that you hate? And you may be thinking on the surface that, hey, what do you mean? No, I do love myself. I love me. I love all the parts of myself. But do you really? Do you really love every single part of yourself? You see, on the surface, you may say that, yeah, man, I'm good. I'm good. But if you really go inwards, if you really go deep to the core of your being, you will find that there are parts of yourself that you have shoved down into the darkness. Parts of yourself that, as you went on throughout your life, there are certain parts of you that you deemed were unacceptable. Maybe because of what people around you told you, maybe because of what society told you. And because you saw these parts of yourself as unacceptable, you just started to pretend that they don't exist. Here's the thing, when you pretend that a part of you doesn't exist, when you just shove it down into the underworld and you're just like, no, that's not, I'm just going to ignore that part of me. When you do that, that part of you doesn't just disappear. No, in fact, it has been down there the whole time. And as the years go on, year after year after year of being regulated, of being shoved down into the darkness, that part of you becomes angrier and angrier. And it becomes filled with more and more grief, more and more uncomfortable feelings. And it starts to cry out in various ways because it desperately just wants you to acknowledge it. You can't hear it because you're up here in the light, pretending that part doesn't exist. You see, when these parts of us down in the shadows, when they are crying out for help, they do so in very interesting ways. Because consciously, you are not aware of them anymore. You're pretending that they're not there. And so they must act out in roundabout ways. You see, so let's say there is a part of you that you don't like, and you pretend it's not there. And then you're just going through your life, pretending it's not there. You see, that part of you begins to lash out and begins to basically control you in ways that you are not even aware of. You see, because it can't get your attention directly, it starts to lash out in all these roundabout ways. That is why sometimes you will see people just randomly blow up out of nowhere. People that tend to repress a lot of anger, people that tend to repress the side of them that gets very angry, which is very common in our society today. It's common for us to see that beast inside us and be like, nah, that's not me. So for people that tend to repress anger and not express their anger, the anger will come out in roundabout ways. And sometimes it's like a pressure cooker. You see, if the anger builds up enough, it will just come out in an explosion. That's what happens when you see people just like blowing up out of nowhere. It's years of repressed anger just blowing up because the pressure cooker finally blew. Now, there's more subtle ways that these parts of us can run us unconsciously. You see, as we're going through our life, these parts of us that are in the shadows, they are subtly trying to drag us down into the shadows because they want our acknowledgement. So as we're going through our life, I mean, you've probably experienced self-sabotage before, right? Everybody has experienced self-sabotage at some point in their lives. Now, it's not the conscious part of you that's sabotaging you. It's these parts of you that are in the darkness. Those are the parts of you that are subtly dragging you down. And so this is why shadow work is so important. And shadow work is all about going down and reclaiming these parts of yourself, refamiliarizing yourself with these parts of yourself. And you see, the darkness, that darkness inside of you really is the key to your freedom, because it's when you go down there into the darkness with an open heart, with love, with compassion, with understanding, then you can become friends with your shadow. And then your shadow doesn't control you in unconscious ways anymore. Now that you're friends with your shadow, it's like, yeah, you're friends. There's not going to be anybody self-sabotaging you anymore because you're all on the same page. But when you're suppressing your shadow, when you're pretending the shadow is not there, then the shadow will keep on influencing you in unconscious ways. You see, if you see the shadow like a beast that lives inside of you, if you're not aware of the beast, and if you're just scared, if you're scared of the beast and you just pretend the beast is not there, then the beast, you'll always be living, you'll be living here in the light, trying to go about your life, but subconsciously you'll always have a fear of that beast that is living inside of you. And so this fear is going to cause problems in your life. But let's say you go down into the shadows and you become friends with this beast. You accept the beast. You embrace the beast. If you embrace the beast, then you can work together with the beast so that the beast does not lash out in unhealthy ways. The beast can be dangerous in very unhealthy ways, but there are attributes to the darkness, attributes to the beast that are essential aspects, strength, power. And when this energy of the beast is channeled in healthy ways, then it can be used very constructively. So the whole idea is that when you're not friends with the beast inside of you, that beast is still there, but it can act out in very destructive ways. But if you are friends with the beast, if you embrace it, then you guys are working together. And you can channel the beast's energy in constructive ways, in healthy ways, in the ways that move you forward. So this whole concept of shadow work, it's so important because it's basically a process of coming back into wholeness. You see, we've created so many fragments of ourselves by disowning these parts of ourselves that we don't like. But when we reclaim these parts, when we embrace these parts, when we re-embrace these parts, then we come back into a place of wholeness, and then we can move forward using all the energies of these different parts of us, but we're all on the same page. We're all working in harmony, living in harmony. And that's really part of the game that you're playing here on planet Earth. This game is about coming back into wholeness. Coming back into wholeness so that you can live the life that you really came here to live. So I hope you got some valuable insight from this episode. And if you liked it, please leave a like and please subscribe because we got a lot more content on the way. Until next time, live free and shine bright.